Now, it's officially canon that Cosmo and Wanda actually are angels. Believe it or not, this was sort of accidental because Lizzie, the showrunner of Fairy Opera's New Wish, put it on her Twitter/X account saying she would die for this joke in the board movie. You don't know what she's talking about. When you do a sort of reading about a show, especially a comedy show, everybody around trying to figure out what's the best joke to put on in the script. But even if you're charged, doesn't mean your joke will actually stay in the script. So she had to fight and confirm and convince everybody this joke is funny. And she did. And this is the reason why we have Cosmo and Wanda repeating as angels. The whole scene is about Cosmo and Wanda go inside. They started the security x-ray to see something is up with them or not, and the x-ray show their true form of being angels. And of course, when you see the screen, they don't look like people what they thought our angels look like. They look like original angel of the old Bible of the night type of angels. Now, believe it or not, in the fandom, there were sort of speculations that Cosmo and Wanda actually were angels, but specifically the theory of the 8-ball theory. Now, the 8-ball theory you can find in Reddit is basically saying that Timmy got tired of all the bad things that are going around his life, so he actually got his 8-ball and hit it on the wall. This toy broke in two and Cosmo and Wanda reappear. Now, anything magical basically is a sin according to the Bible, because the magic 8-ball that Timmy had cracked is considered as a crystal ball, considering having magic calling from the dark arts. Because magic is sort of connected to the devil, specifically sort of angel, because Lucifer used to be angel and he's not the only one who was kicked out of heaven. Several angels were recruiting out of heaven. Of course, some angels wasn't evil enough to stay in hell or good enough to go back in heaven. So they stuck here in the earth, becoming fairies. This is the reason why the Bible considered magic sort of evil, because the angels are sort of demons, at least the fallen one angels with Lucifer. This is what you consider why two type of fairies in fairy war. They're the regular fairies and the anti-fairies. They also explain why anti-fairies look sort of bluish, vampire, demon-ish. And yes, including the pixies, but the reason they don't have a true form or what they're supposed to look like is a simple answer. They actually answered themselves. They dull and gray, or gray and dull, because they're boring and they have no imagination, so this is their true form, just pixies. That's if some people were sort of wondering. Now, the magic 8-ball theory is not confirmed, but it's the cozy theory of the fairies becoming angels. In fact, it's sort of mind-blowing. It took a lot of time to actually figure out fairy are actually angels if you know the lore of fairies. So yeah, I'm sort of surprised they took so long to actually connect that to be a real thing in fairy art parents. Of course, you can use religious artifacts or religious anything in cartoon specifically made for children only if your channel is religious. That's the only reason that you're allowed to do that. If not, there is no possibility to put in a religious thing in fairy art parents. But because fairies have been used so many times, everybody forgot what was fairies based on before. But besides that, what do you think about why fairies help Timmy? Well, to help him become sins, like envy, greed, and other different emotions considered as sins. But believe it or not, there actually even more deeper lore actually well connected to the main lore of fairy godparents. But before I continue, my name is Rachel. I like to talk about animation, not just animation, the reviews, first impressions, cartoon theories, and sometimes, if I have some spare time, cartoon breaking news. Of course, if you like how it's going, you like to help my channel for like, comment, and subscribe. That's only the only thing you do, the only thing you do. Of course, if you don't, that's fine, but you do, thank you, because of you are getting close to the main goal of 1,000 subscribers. Of course, it's all the people who put like, comment, and share of all my videos. Thank you, I'm completely grateful. Now, let me continue off the lore of the truth of the angels of fairy oddparents. Now, some of you still asking some questions because the theory is still a lot of holes into it. In a way, yes, but at the same time, not really. If you study what fairies and angels, what they actually are, everything sort of does really make sense. Even that Port Charming, the creator of Fairy Operas, never really meant it to be sort of a reference of actually being angels. Even his newborn Christian, he never actually attempted to put that in the lore. It was the new showrunner of Fairy Odd Parents. She just thought it was a joke. A joke. This is what I mean. This is sort of water sink lore. And this is what it actually looks like. That sort of accidental lore that just sort of connects, but it actually does work. This is probably the most weirdest canon thing ever, but believe it or not, there's still even more stuff to talk about. Now, the question some of you trying to answer is, okay, if the angels, in why they look like a sword in the whale, not like angels? Now, to easily explain, because the angel lore is deep, I'm just basically make it simple. There are 9 type of angels. Each angel does a job for God or someone else. And Cosmo and Wanda fit to 3 and 5. And let me explain what they actually are. Cosmo and Wanda are 2 type of angels because Cosmo is a sort of a throne type of angel and Wanda is a power of type of angel. In other words, ranking wise, Cosmo is more powerful than Wanda because Cosmo's main job is basically give his will and his law to the angels to have control and order, even giving more down order in the human realm. That's his sort of main job. And Wanda is sort of a power that she is sort of 2 types of angels, this sword and power, or it's sort of weird because both of them do similar things, but they're also very different. That's what a lot of people not sure what categorize this type of angels. She between 5 and 6. That basically she does miracles, but also protect the people, but also taking down demons that anyone who threaten the human race. This one sort of makes sense the type of characters they really are by accident. But some of you saying, well, Cosmo is sort of an idiot. He doesn't know how to take charge or anything. That's what the thing so interesting because Cosmo Wanda was kicked out of heaven because they're fallen angels. Because they couldn't become angels, they become fairies. Now, if I ask another question, what Cosmo looked like a wheel and Wanda looked like a sword, it's because it's sort of what depicted in the sort of Old Testament. Because the chair is basically a sort of wheel kind of thing, and that's what it's supposed to look like. Even a lot of scholars say, yeah, it's the most weirdest design, but we don't know why he's depicted that way. It's how he actually looks like. And Wanda doesn't really has a sword form of the original Bible. It's more like the person who has that type of power or that ranking has a sword because it's a protector and also the savior of a human race. So I guess they made her like a sword, just sort of a reference what type of angel she really is. This is specifically to be a reference to Wanda. Cosmo is a little bit too easy because that's how it's supposed to look like. And that's why Wanda looked like a sword, because sort of give you one ranking angel she really is. Now, this is the Lord making more reader. In the, I think, Fairy Movie, the first one, the Cupcake Wish, basically, Jordan explains why they become fairies is or fairy like human is very simple. The dominant species of the earth, we are actually serving the young children. So whatever the dominant species are, they change to that specific creature. Like the movie shows, if a monkey is the most the dominant species, all the fairies become fairy monkeys. And that's sort of the lore of the rules according to Jordan. But you also actually think about it. Fairies supposed to be nice and kind, so they become these human-like fairies that can transform to 5 inches to a 5.9 type of person could pass like a person because they try not to scare off people because their true form is Cosmo Wanda, is sword, and also a sort of 5-wheel spin. Those true forms scares people because they cannot really get the concept. Especially little kids will be confused and terrified because they don't understand what's actually going on. This is the reason why Cosmo and Wanda prefer look like humans because they don't want to terrify the little kids because they are serving them. The reason why they serve them is pretty obvious. Well, two obvious things. If you have normal fairies, they're attempted to guide the young child become a better person. Even that they have to reteach some lessons, how to not be greedy, selfish, self-centered, and etc. If you get anti-fairies, they teach you to be lustful, angry, unhappy, because that's the emotions they thrive on. That sort of now kind of makes sense by accident. So every little thing I told you, it just sort of connects fascinatingly because they do answer a lot of different questions, like how Cosmo can become pregnant. Because Cosmo is not a person, he is sort of a kind of five-axis wheel. But at the top of all this, that makes more sense the reason why they want to serve little kids and guide them. At least depends what type of fairy you actually got. And also, it's just sort of fascinating. This lore was there all the time, and the creators or new showrunners never really attempted to connect it. It was everything was accidental because Butch Hartman decided to make fairies is because the basically Sleeping Beauty or all the different fairy tales he heard growing up, like Disney movies, like the fairy godmother from Rapunzel. But you get the idea. Like every single thing was inspired by fairy tales, who he decided to make a show about fairies. Once more, everything by accident, but everything sort of connects. And that makes it so interesting. I just was blown away that everything sort of does make sense. Of course, there's two questions, or at least one. So who is God and who is Lucifer of fairy world? Honestly, we don't know. Honestly, probably they don't exist because this is a comedy show and that's not the point. The point of the whole Fairy Our Parents is the jokes and the creativity of the wishes. But once more, it's just for fun. When you think this everything sort of connects or not, tell me down below. Let me know. Now I got nothing else to say. Just thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and have a wonderful day. Bye.